Hey first graders, it's Mrs. Haas. Today we're going to read the story that you guys voted for in our last Zoom call, which is called How Full Is Your Bucket for Kids? This story is written by Tom Rath and Mary Reckmeyer. It's illustrated by Mari J. Manning. We read this one time this school year, and many of you guys talk about filling up your buckets. So let's go ahead and get started. How full is your bucket for kids? Here we go. Felix was putting one of the last blocks on his tower when his little sister came in. "I want to build with you," she said. Felix scowled. "Go away. You're too little." Let's see what happens. "Stay back. You'll knock it over." "I'm big." "I can be very careful." "Go play with your baby toys, Anna." Take a look at what Anna went and did. Thwack! Man, think about whether she used the turtle or not in this situation. If you're saying no, think about what she should have done. "Grandpa!" Grandpa shook his head. "Felix, you just dipped from your sister's bucket." Like everyone else, Anna has an invisible bucket. When it's empty, she feels bad. But when it's full, she feels great. Didn't you ever notice your own bucket? Invisible bucket? Sometimes Felix couldn't quite tell when his grandfather was joking. Think about that invisible bucket. Do you have one? But the next morning, when Felix woke up, there it was, a small gray bucket floating above his head. When Felix came down to have his breakfast, his mom was in a hurry. "I've got a meeting this morning, and it's almost time to go. Anna, sit still." Think how mom is feeling. She has a meeting coming up. She's in a hurry. She's asking Anna to sit still. How is she feeling? Notice anything else happening on these pages? Felix slipped, and Choco Wheats scattered across the floor. "Felix!" yelled his mom. "You should have used the stool to reach that." Felix could feel his bucket tip and big invisible drips spill out. Drip, drip. "Ha ha!" Anna laughed as she crunched the cereal with her shoe. Drip. "Get the broom and clean that up before you miss the bus," scolded Mom. With the school bus honking, Felix quickly swept up the Choco Wheats and grabbed the last blueberry muffin. But before he could even take one bite, Buster jumped up and grabbed the muffin from his hand. Drip. "Hey, look at Felix's new backpack. My baby brother has one just like it." Drip. Notice Felix's facial expressions. How's he feeling? Psst, Felix, psst. Drip. "Watch out, shrimp." Drip. So what types of things are happening that's making Felix lose water from his bucket? Water is dripping out of his bucket right now. It was still morning, and Felix's bucket felt almost empty. Notice how he's feeling when his bucket is almost empty. As he watched his classmates walk into the room, he secretly hoped they would trip and fall. That's what it feels like when you have an empty bucket. Felix slumped into his seat and waited for something else bad to happen. Mrs. Bumblenickel walked slowly up to his desk and handed him a paper. He could hardly bear to look. This is what it says. "Felix, you wrote a wonderful story. Would you please share it with the class?" Felix grinned and felt a big drop land right in his bucket. Drop! And over here, you'll notice that things are dropping and plopping. Let's see the words and figure out what happened to make Felix's bucket begin to fill up. Felix is saying, "The Gigantosaurus who wanted a pet, by me, Felix." The class grew quiet. They laughed at all the right places and oohed at the scary parts. When Felix finally read "the end," everyone clapped. Even Emily, who sat next to him and didn't usually like dinosaurs. Felix felt a whole shower of drops land in his bucket. Maybe the day wouldn't be so bad after all. So notice what's happening to Felix's bucket as he's reading his story and everyone's listening and enjoying it. Looks like his bucket is beginning to fill up. Take a moment to notice what he pulled out of his lunchbox. Looks like a note that says, "Love you," from his mom. Drop. Team captains today are Veronica and Felix. Drop. Nice cow. It's a dog. Well, nice colors there, Felix. And notice what's happening to his bucket. Cool laser ant backpack, Felix. Drop. His backpack is beginning, or is it because he got a compliment on his backpack, his bucket is continuing to fill up. By afternoon, Felix's bucket was nearly full. At recess, when he looked around, Felix suddenly realized that his grandpa was right. Everyone else had a bucket too. "Let me help you." Drop, drop. "Here's your baseball. Catch." "Thanks, dude." Drop, drop. "Hi, I'm Felix. First day?" "Yes, I'm Amir." Drop, drop. The strange thing was that for every drop he helped put in someone else's bucket, he felt another drop in his own bucket. So that means that if we fill other people up and are kind to others, then we'll be able to fill up our own bucket as well. How fascinating. When Felix burst in the door after school, he shouted, "You were right, Grandpa. I do have a bucket, and I understand how it works." Then he saw Anna's torn doll. "Bad dog," he almost scolded. But then he thought, dogs might have invisible buckets too. "Your doll will be okay, Anna," said Felix. "Mom will fix her." Wah! Until then, do you want to help me build the tallest building in the world with my blocks? Think about what Felix is trying to do right now. What is he trying to do to help his sister Anna? And so they did. And take a look at both of their buckets. I absolutely love this story. I think this is a wonderful story where we learn about how it's really important for us to not only be kind to others, but it's also important for us to be kind to ourselves. And when we're kind to both ourselves and others, then we fill up each other's buckets and we make everybody else feel happy and more loved. And I think those are two of the most important things, especially in our world right now. Here is a challenge for you at home. What I would like you to do is make a plan to fill up someone else's bucket. So think about someone at home who maybe needs their bucket filled or who you think would enjoy having a full bucket. And think about some things that you could say to them or do for them to fill up their bucket. Now, this doesn't mean that you only fill up their bucket one time. This means that you work hard, maybe for even an entire week, and try to fill up that person's bucket as much as you can and see what a difference that you can make by the end of the week. So that is your challenge, my friends. I hope that you guys enjoyed our story, How Full Is Your Bucket? And I hope that you can practice filling others' buckets this week. Thank you guys. I miss you, and I'll talk to you soon.